In his State of the Union address, did the president do a good job of selling himself for a second term? There's international crises, there's domestic challenges. He touched on a whole lot of different things.
And one of the biggest talker, right? The common denominator, and just about everybody I talked to about this, is the president's age. How did he come across? I thought he came out feisty. Some say, though, it was feisty, but that it went too far. Let me explain. The moment that kind of took me back was that jab, right, at the U.S. Supreme Court justices, calling them out on abortion ruling. And I mean, I could feel like collectively people across the U.S. just kind of gasping. I had never seen anything like that. But of course, he checked off all the boxes for so many people on the Democratic side walking away. But even some Republicans that I spoke to from the Florida area, you know, watching and said he, for all this talk about his age, showed a lot of gusto. Remember, he also was grabbing somebody's cell phone right before he took about almost 10 minutes to walk into chambers. Even myself, sometimes it's hard to manipulate a cell phone. He was able to manipulate, grab people's cell phones, take the pictures quite easily. So that was impressive.
Yeah, a whole lot of selfies going on there. And Susan, did you get a sense of what might be on Biden's wish list if he should get a second term?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He gave some broad views. For example, he addressed shrinkflation with a Snickers bar, which helps sort of to reframe the debate over the economy, Errol, by blaming corporations and showing Americans that, you know, he sees what they see, less in the package. He also wants to raise the minimum tax on corporations and use the funds to help working families and reduce the deficit. And he wants to propose an expanded tax credit, which every child care advocate says is critical.
Okay, so now sticking with you, Susan, where do Nikki Haley's supporters go? She dropped out of the race this week, but did not endorse Donald Trump. That raises the question of the thousands and thousands of people who voted for her. What happens to them?
Yeah, absolutely. If you are a college-educated suburban voter, sort of in the mold of Ronald Reagan, who abhors the isolationist position that the Trump Republican Party is starting to espouse, you either don't vote or you vote for Biden. Then again, there are those for whom foreign policy isn't a big deal. And you've mentioned that, you know, before this week, Errol, that it's not a big voting issue for some people. And so you pull the lever for Trump. But I do think it's going to be very difficult for Trump to capture all of the Haley voters, especially because it doesn't appear that that's top of mind for him.
Beth, on Super Tuesday, the uncommitted votes, meaning votes for neither Biden nor Trump, really made a sizable percentage in some states. I'm thinking of Michigan, I'm thinking of Minnesota in particular on Super Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Should the Biden team be worried about a loss of enthusiasm among Democrats?
Yeah, they really need to be laser focused on that. Let me tell you what I'm tracking in Florida. I don't know if other folks know this, but this is a big story for us, and it's kind of a telltale sign of how the Democratic Party is trying to regroup. So the Florida Democratic Party chair, Nikki Fried, just let go, suspended 3 county chairs in the state of Florida, South Florida. We're talking Miami-Dade County, Palm Beach, and Franklin counties. Is the Democratic Party recalibrating? Is that the kind of stuff that President Biden wants to hear when he goes into key states like Florida? It kind of makes you stop in your tracks and go, okay, how focused is the Democratic Party on the national level, but when they go into individual states? So that's something else to watch. And one thing I want to add really quickly, we need to talk more, I think, about Robert F. Kennedy Jr., independent. What's going on? Is he going to get any of these votes that don't want to look for Mr. Biden, that don't want to vote for Trump? That, to me, is a really intriguing candidate.
Well, yeah. In fact, Susan, that the third-party candidacy is a possibility that could, depending on the states where they're active, really make the difference in the Electoral College, right?
Absolutely. It also depends on where Mr. Kennedy comes down on some hot-button issues that are motivating Democratic voters, including the Gaza campaign.
Okay. Thank you very much, Susan. Thank you, Ebeth. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage, and click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.